Yo, what's going on, world? This your boy Bootstrap Bentley with another book for y'all today. Today is February 1st. This is a brand new episode. Today I'm bringing to the table one of my favorite people in the world. A person I look up to. I'm definitely motivated by his hustle. One of my favorite artists of all time. Once again, his name is 50 Cent. He got a book out called Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. And we all know 50. If we act like we don't, we've been living under a rock. My man has been doing a lot of major moves in so many areas. His just transcendentness just took him to heights of success that many people from his background probably couldn't believe. But if you heard his music, The Power of a Dollar, I mean, you already knew that this brother was going to do major things, man. Like I said, when I was in high school, The Power of a Dollar was one of my favorite albums. I remember it was him and my man Half a Mill just grinding on the street, trying to get their music out there in New York, just buzzing the mixtape circuit. And I remember that Power of a Dollar album, and it was just one of the dopest things I heard. And then to see like 50 Cent, go through all his, transgressions, to drop in the club with Eminem. It was just, it was meant for him. That was one of the things that was meant for him. So he got this book. He talks about principles. We all know 50 Cent is one of them strategic brothers who likes to just think of war. and it's a beautiful thing when you think about it, because it is a lot of war going on out here. It's a lot of mental warfare going on. So you can't be so naive to any situation where you don't think that you need to make sure that you have leverage, or you could somehow get leverage out the situation. And leverage is not always a bad thing. You just want to make sure that deals are fair, that you're delivering what they expect and they're delivering what you expect. So gaining leverage in any situation is just really just making sure you have accountability on both sides of the ball. I like how 50 has always looked towards principles and strategies and approach them to corporate America, because these are the same principles and strategies a lot of people use in the streets, to be honest. Just knowing how to gain control, knowing how to supply demand, knowing how to build the right relationships. It's a lot of parallels from the streets to corporate America, and 50 definitely exploits that. So let's jump right in. Before we jump right in, I got my other guy, you know what I'm saying, Diddy. He got this cognac out called French Brandy. It's Ciroc VS, and it's kind of smooth. I like the bottle. I like the wood look or whatever on the bottle. Nice smooth drink. It says it's from French grapes. It's a nice little smooth drink. I don't know if it's a cognac or not. I mean, it looks brown. I thought all brown is cognac, but I'm no liquor savant. I'm just trying to keep the party going on dope books and bottles. So let's jump right in. All right. Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by 50 Cent. All right. I like how he talked about finding your fears and finding a way to address them. Like I said, it was a book he just recently dropped. It covers a lot, for young entrepreneurs. I think it's a great playbook to have in your bag. You know what I'm saying? Something that you could, listen to or read while you're traveling through the airport, or just, late nights, just trying to come up with strategy, come up with a game plan, come up with something that you can implement instantly. And it's not something that, say tomorrow go do this, but at the same time tomorrow you can implement this and build on it. And I think that it's a great tool to have as a young entrepreneur, even an old entrepreneur that want to learn just some new ways, or just refresh some things that you might have forgotten or some things that you feel like you could bring back to the table. So I like how you said, find your fears and find a way to address them. Comfort leads to complacency. Willingness to accept that punches are going to come. Some may stagger you, but knowing you will survive and have to keep fighting for the things you want separates a man from a mouse, a champ from a chump, and can make all the difference when it comes to uncommon success. See, to me, uncommon success is not for the average person. Like, uncommon success puts you in a different, stratosphere. It puts you in a different lane when you're looking for uncommon success. So common success might just be the cause, the jewelry, the lifestyle. Uncommon success is actually being able to create a system that you could almost implement anybody into the system, and the success is going to kick out. It's like a coach that know how to take a player's potential and make them a superstar. It's like an institution that could take a person with business aspirations and make them a Fortune 500 CEO. So you want to put yourself in a position where you really seek uncommon success, and knowing that you gotta, address different things that may hold you back. And like they said, people think, oh, I don't have fears. I mean, 50 Cent mentioned that. People say, I don't have fears. I don't have fears. But the number one thing they scared of sometimes is really following their dreams, like following through with them, actually putting pen to paper, or putting, foot to concrete and making things happen, trying to put yourself in people's face, put your ideas in people's face and space, and actually try to come up with a way to bring it to life, in real life. And he say, have a North Star of success, a map to follow, something to keep you motivated day in, day out. Like, what is your motivation? What keeps you going? Me, I got a fear of poverty. I'm from poverty. I'm from the bottom. So my fear of poverty had me like every day trying to work on something. Every day trying to think about something. Because, I know what it felt like. I know what it felt like to stand on them corners. I'm from Rochester, New York, upstate New York. So, like, I know what it felt like in the winters, standing on them corners, nowhere to go, no house to warm up, and like trying to turn your toes inside your shoes. Like, I know that feeling. You know what I'm saying? I know the feeling of just standing around with nothing to do, with no plan, no idea how to get it, and not knowing where to get it from. And then sometimes that's when the devil come in place saying, hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. And sometimes doing what you gotta do can lead you to bad places or lead you to doing bad things. So have a North Star for success. Have something that motivates you. Find a way to get things without feeling like you gotta hurt anybody or step on anybody's toes or create foes, because it's real out here. I like how he said he shed light on black allegiance to the hood that most people from other cultures don't have. He questions, why do we always feel the need to stay tied to the hood even after we reach a certain height of success? Is it really safe? Is it really smart? When is it okay to detach away from the negative things and learn to help from a distance, right? So I say this, Jay-Z had a bar that said, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So I got rich and gave back. Now that's a win-win, right? Now, like, I know, and it's something that is very real. I think I mentioned it before. Like, we do have, black people as a whole, we do have an allegiance to the hood. Like, we feel like once we make it in the hood or out the hood, we really can't leave the hood. We can't leave our friends. But, I think when you come to a certain amount of success in your life, you realize everybody can't go. And that's just the sad reality. Everybody can't go. What you can do is try to implement charity, give backs, try to figure out ways to reach the youth. Like coming from Rochester, New York, once again, a big figure from my city is Frederick Douglass, and he always had a saying like, it's hard to fix a broken man. It's better to, raise a child raise a child the right way. And I'm misquoting it, but it's something similar to that. Like, it's hard to like fix somebody who already is like broken in so many ways. They don't believe in the system. They don't believe in dreams. They don't believe in getting up every day and making stuff happen, even though you may not have $1 by the end of that day from what you're trying to do, but you're building towards it. It could be writing a book. It could be writing a play. It could be working on a mixtape. It could be working on a movie. It could be working on education. A lot of people don't like to put in the time to go get a degree or go get an education because day in, day out, they not getting paid for that. And sometimes, you listen to the crowd where, oh man, you get that degree, you ain't gonna get a job. And some people do deal with that. Some people do deal with getting a degree and not getting a job in that field. And then sometimes you got to take responsibility for that. Like, even when you go on to pursue an education, sometimes you got to look at what's out there. Where are the jobs? What are companies demanding? So when I do take this journey, when I do go into these classrooms and sit down and try to be educated, I know for a fact that it's a demand for this degree. Because sometimes we go for a degree that's been out of style 5 years. You know what I'm saying? 10 years. And you be like, oh man, I went and got a bachelor's or whatever in this, and this, but nobody's demanding that. Now they want cybersecurity. Now they want analytics. People who know how to do data analytics, data input. People know how to do digital marketing, not just traditional marketing. They not worried about people who could put up billboards. They worried about people who could put their company in your social media feed consistently, constantly, new ideas all the time. So you got to make sure that when you do take these different steps that may not be monetary at the end of the day, but long-term, building towards a long-term goal, that is actually something that you're going to be able to get a return on. So, and I faced that. Trust me. I got a bachelor's. I faced the same gambit of going in here thinking, I got a 4-year degree. Rock with me. And then they like, we need somebody who could do this. Your degree really don't specialize in that. It's good. They pat me on the back and then walk me out the office. And then I got to go back and game plan. So I like how you also say the power of perception, how you see yourself is how others view you, and controlling as much of your story as much as you can through the way you take care of yourself, your appearance, the value you bring to the table, and faking it till you make it is not always the best approach. Because there's power in walking in your truth. And that's so real. Because, recently I was just watching a clip from Club Shay Shay, and they had my man Ocho Cinco on there. And he talked about, being so authentic that it didn't make sense for him to spend his money frivolously on things that he knew wouldn't matter 5 or 10 years from now. So faking it till you make it wasn't his way. He felt like, I never rock like that, so I'm not going to rock like that. He was talking about jewelry. He was talking about cars. He was talking about just making sure that he be real with himself, with his lifestyle, because he realized that when the show over, when the game is over, when nobody's wanting me to suit up in the NFL no more, I gotta be able to survive. I'm not trying to go out here and go back to anything that I don't have to do if I was able to wisely manage my money. And he made it a point to do that. So some of us, we live a life where we feel like if we try to present ourselves as the person who has the most money, who's doing more than the next, who has more than the next, that could help position us to open up more deals. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it do. I'm not going to front, but sometimes it don't. Sometimes it makes you look shallow. Sometimes it turns people off. It makes people feel like these are your values. Your values It's not to bring real value to the table, but to bring artificial, fake power to the table. So, who are you without the chains? Who are you without the clothes? You know what I'm saying? Who are you without a certain lifestyle you're trying to project? Where's that level of authenticity? Because, sometimes, man, I notice a lot of big people. It might be only one person in the room with the chain on, and and that person time and time again probably be new to money. I done met many people who got a lot of money who don't even wear jewelry, who don't even drive a fancy car. You know what I'm saying? I done delivered Uber pieces, whatever. I done rode into many neighborhoods with the biggest houses and rarely see the fanciest cars. It's almost like they trying to throw you off. Like they don't even want you to know we live here. So when you see me in traffic, you might catch me in that Ford Explorer pulling up to a $500,000 house. But that's my business. That means being authentic to yourself and not faking it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? And just really trying to find where you stand at to project the true you. And hopefully when you meet people and people meet you, they know that you're coming from a place of authenticity, and they want to do business with that real person, that person that's really committed to adding value to the company, adding ideas, and not feeling like they're bigger than the team or better than the team, but trying to find ways to empower the team. So, and I think we all go through it. When we trying to find ourselves, we trying to find that silver lining in ourselves. Like, do I have to be a person who's super fashionable? Or do I have to be like almost Instagram model like all the time? Or can I just be myself? I think that's even the fear of doing a podcast, because you think like, damn, if I don't have this certain setup, if I don't have this certain, association, if I don't have these certain clothes on all the time, if I don't have just so many things that sometimes are relevant, but it's irrelevant. Because when you look at people like Earn Your Leisure, they started on a cell phone. When you look at some of the biggest influencers, man, they just flipping their phone open and talking to it. And then you look at some people who can't even get an idea off the ground, and they in the most expensive, got the most laid out, they doing all this, that, and the third. So it's like, you got to find your silver lining, what's real to you, and how you stay real to yourself. And I like how he brought up the entitlement trap. He talked about how a lot of us face the entitlement trap when we have successful friends and families and family members, and only way to avoid it is to really take full responsibility of our lives. Entitlement breeds resentment, responsibility breeds freedom. And I love that. Like this is my third time actually listening to this 50 Cent book. And every time I listen, I really do pick up a jewel, But this was one of the main jewels I picked up from the beginning because, like I said, I know different people or whatever. And it was at a time when I used to sit back and I'd be like, man, damn, if they rock with me like this, then they would come at me like that. They wouldn't leave me out of certain things. They wouldn't, they would make sure that, if it's millions of dollars on the table, we got to bring Bree in here. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, the more I realize I am in full control of my life, and I have to take full responsibility for the things that happen in my life. And I had to take that responsibility off of other people, which took that resentment off of other people. I was able to love them people, love what they're doing, love how they're moving, love how they're living. Love that they were able to take themselves from, early stages of life to a more successful stage in life while I'm doing the same thing. And that was something that I really, 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 really had to swallow, because it was a time that I really did feel like that, like, damn, that level of resentment, that level of frustration, that level of, if you were my friend, if you were my family, if you really love me, then you will do this. But then eventually it's like, man, look, ain't nobody coming to save you. So don't be entitled to nobody else's success. Only thing you're entitled to is to get up and make your own damn moves. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, and then he mentioned something about immigrants, having a harder hustle than Americans. I'm not going to go too deep in that, but sometimes I do align with the thought that sometimes we don't always see the opportunities that we have at our disposal, as young black Americans, as black Americans, period. And I know it's a lot of systems in place that hold us back. I know it's a lot of things out there that we can name. It's like black issues is like a head of lettuce. Once you pull one leaf back, it's another leaf. Trust me, I understand. But at the same time, we also got to realize it's the reason why people come from around the world to come here to take advantage of some of the stuff that we're still blinded by. So we got to find our opportunities. We got to find what's really working for us, what the market is demanding, and try to find a way to supply it in the most positive ways. And I say this because like I said, I done worked so many jobs. I done been in so many situations. And I used to say, some people will come to this country and take some of these jobs and they'll grind them out. Whether it's at a gas station, they'll grind out a gas station, live out a room, and go to school. They'll work at a factory, save up 5 years, 10 years, and go buy a gas station. Then they move their whole family. Now their whole family running that gas station. We got to figure out how to implement some of these plays in our own ways. We can't always, once again, fake it till you make it. We in the hood with the Bentley. We in the gutter. We got the Jews. We got the Jordans. But we don't have a plan to elevate ourselves and our families out of these wretched situations. We got to figure out a way to counter-gentrify. It's a lot of things. So, and I don't want to make it about my personal ideas. This book, once again, is a great tool, a great playbook, something that you can grab, look towards, look into. You don't have to use everything. Once again, it's a statement saying, don't drink the ocean. So you might find something in this book and just implement one thing. If it's one thing that you pick up that you can implement to make you a better businessman or businesswoman, or just more savvy to life, more aware, self-aware of yourself, your own success, and the things that'll take you to get to the next level, then definitely check it out. That's all I got for you, man. Once again, this is 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, Mr. Power himself, Mr. BMF, produced series himself, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by Curtis Jackson, man. That's my guy. Trust me. And I know he got all his own liquors, but today I'm rocking with Ciroc. It's all good. Love is love. It's your boy, Bootstrap Bentley, Dope Books and Bottles. Peace.